The movie begins with a board stating that safety is our first priority, and the last accident was 784 days ago, and then the number is crossed out and changed to 1. We are then shown a boy sitting alone outside his house. Inside the house, 2 people are talking. A woman says, "How will he manage himself? And now, who will give this child a mother's love?" The uncle in the background replies, "Joey is a good boy, don't worry about him. Jackson will give him a mother's love too." But the woman insists Jackson won't understand him. We are now shown some children talking. They say that Joey's mother died a very painful death when a steel beam fell on her. One of them says, "Now Joey won't act in my horror film because his mother just died, and he'll think my mom might also have become a ghost." Outside, we see a person get out of a yellow car and go inside the house. Joey sees all of this. A little later, Joey's father, Jackson, brings him outside, puts him in his car, and drives away. Looking at the car, we can tell that he is a police officer. The scene changes, showing a scene from 4 months later, at school dismissal time. Joey is with his friends. One of them, named Charles, gives Joey a film script. Charles announces, "I have given the role of the heroine to Alice." Everyone is astonished to hear this, but Charles says, "She said yes to me, and tonight she will drive us to the location." Charles now shows Joey the film he made and explains that the film is currently incomplete, and that in this film festival, big boys will also participate who have good cameras and good production. But I don't have this. Charles then gives Joey an article and explains, "Alice will play the wife of our spy who loves him and wants to stop him from going alone." Before leaving, he tells Joey to be ready at 12 yours tonight. Outside, we see Charles's family, which is very large. Now Joey heads towards his house. Inside, he starts looking for his father. He finds his father looking sad in the next room. At dinner time, Joey's father asks him to learn baseball during the holidays and to stay away from ghost and monster-making kids like Charles. Joey says, "I have to help Charles," but the father starts refusing Joey's words. However, when his gaze falls on his mother's locket in Joey's hands, he quiets down. We now see Joey being called out by his friends over the walkie-talkie. Alice has arrived outside in her car, but when Alice notices Joey's house property, she gets upset. She says, "Joey's father is a policeman, and I can't drive in front of him because I don't have a license." Charles asks, "So should we leave Joey here?" But Alice says, "He has already seen me driving now." But Joey says, "Trust me, I won't tell my father anything." Hearing this, Alice agrees, and they all arrive at the location. It is a station. Charles tells everyone to set up the camera. The hero is reading his script, and Joey nervously starts applying makeup to Alice. Here, Alice tells Joey that her father works in the same mill, but Joey ignores her and tells her to close her eyes. They do a rehearsal. Alice's acting is wonderful, and Joey keeps staring at her, but then the sound of a train is heard. Charles immediately tells everyone to get ready, because this is the only chance when the train will pass. Everything is ready, and the train starts passing by in the background. Everything is fine, but suddenly a car collides in front of the train, causing the train to overturn. Joey sees all this. Everyone starts running hither and thither. In a little while, the place is devastated. The train has completely overturned. Now Joey goes forward to look for his companions. Everyone is fine, but Joey asks about Alice's condition. Then he sees blood in front of him. He thinks maybe. But then Alice comes up from behind. He then remembers that it is fake blood that he brought to use in the acting. Now they see millions of strange things around them that look like white Rubik's cubes. Joey tells his friends about the car that caused the train to overturn. They go near it. They all recognize the person in this car. His name is Dr. Woodward, who is a biology teacher. Alice goes near him. She finds a map in the doctor's hands that has the train's timetable. Just then, the doctor regains consciousness. Charles tells him, "I am your student." The doctor takes out his gun and says, "Don't tell anyone about this or they will kill you and your family," and tells them to run away from there. Joey quickly picks up his camera, which he had left at the station while running, and everyone leaves in the car. But the army colonel behind them has spotted their car and the empty box of the camera tape. Inside the car, everyone is scared, but Joey tells everyone to remain calm and says, "None of us will tell anyone anything." While getting out of the car, Alice gives Joey a cube that she had picked up while coming from there. In the morning, we see that cube moving by itself. Now Joey reaches Charles's house. There, they see on the news everything they had seen with their own eyes that night. Then Charles says, "I have another idea. We have the scene from that night, and now we will add this overturned train scene to it as well." Now both of them go to get their camera lens fixed. The repairman says that it is cheaper to buy a new camera than to get this fixed. Joey says, "It's okay, we'll use my father's camera." Charles gives the repairman the night clip to process. He tells him, "Okay, I will have it ready in 3 days." Meanwhile, Joey calls Alice and tells her about his new plan, but Alice refuses and hangs up the phone. Now Joey reaches Alice's house. There, Alice tells Joey to stop working on that useless film. Just then, Alice's father arrives. This is the same person who Joey's father, Jackson, had pulled out of their house at the beginning of the film. He angrily scolds Joey and tells him to leave. Seeing Joey's sadness, seeing Seeing Joey's sadness, Alice nods yes with a gesture. Now they start shooting once again. Alice asks Joey, why would the doctor have done this after all? Hearing all this, Joey zooms the camera onto the train and finds out that it was an Air Force train. While eating, Joey tells his friends that it really is an Air Force train, and that doctor also had the train's map. The doctor wanted to destroy it, but his friends think the doctor committed suicide. Then Charles tells them the doctor's last words, saying, all of you shut up, remember he said not to talk to anyone about this. Meanwhile, Jackson reaches the overturned train for information, but the Army colonel tells him nothing. Jackson felt something was wrong. Jackson tells his head about all this, about the airplane parts and those cubes, but the senior officer says, it's normal for an Air Force train to have airplane parts, and don't think too much. You haven't taken any leave since your wife's death. You should spend some time with your child, don't overthink it. Now the same senior officer is at the gas station at night. Suddenly he sees something strange, dogs running away and a strange sound. He goes to look towards that sound, and then something attacks him there. There is a worker inside the shop, but due to the headphones, he doesn't hear anything. A little later, when he looks outside, the car is crushed, and then something attacks him. The next day, everyone is preparing for the shoot. The lights are turning on and off here. Joey is looking at Alice as if he has fallen in love with her. Meanwhile, Jackson, Joey's father, finds out strange things such as the CCTV footage at that gas station is missing and the engines of several cars are missing. Just then, Jackson notices the Army personnel who are investigating something. Meanwhile, Joey's dog is lost somewhere, and perhaps the whole town's dogs are too. At night, all the police officers are talking at Joey's house. Joe is asking his father about the dog when suddenly the power starts flickering. The scene shifts and we see the power company worker. About half a mile of cable has been stolen. Suddenly, he notices some movement. He sees something throwing a power transformer far away, and then he is suddenly attacked. The next morning, we see Jackson questioning people about what is going on. Why is the power out? Is this a Russian attack? An elderly man says, my radio isn't working. It's picking up some other frequency. Jackson talks to him privately to understand, and he realizes that the Air Force is using an illegal radio channel. He tells his partners to keep an eye on it. Just then, Alice's father appears, who had been brought in for a case but was innocent. He loudly tells Jackson, you should tell your son not to come to my house or talk to my daughter. Now we see Alice in Joe's room. Joe is showing her his model train cars, which they will use with firecrackers in a film clip. Alice asks him about the necklace. Joe explains, Dad gave it to Mom when I was born. Mom always kept it with her. After she passed, Dad brought it back. Suddenly, Charles arrives and tells Joe that he has to become a soldier. On the other side, Jackson finds out that a total of 30 dogs ran away simultaneously from one specific location. Jackson overhears the Air Force on the same radio naming an operation. Meanwhile, near the Army camp, Joe is shooting his film when Jackson arrives. He tells Joe to get in the car and then asks the colonel about the operation. The colonel tells him something. Now at home, Jackson explains to Joe, don't do all this. I don't want a criminal's daughter coming to my house. But Joe says Alice isn't like that. She's good. Jackson leaves in anger due to his work, and Joe sits by his mother's grave, remembering her. Suddenly, he sees something in a warehouse. Meanwhile, Jackson goes to meet the Army colonel, but the force stops him. Inside, the colonel asks the doctor some questions about who else was there who shot the creature, but the doctor doesn't say anything. They kill him. Now we see Alice meeting Joe at night. The city lights are still out. They start talking. Suddenly, the lights come on and the projector starts running. It shows a video of Joe's childhood with his mother. Both get emotional. Alice starts crying, and we realize that perhaps Alice's mother is also no longer in this world. Just then, the white cube starts shaking. Both look at it closely. Frightened, it suddenly runs away, breaking through the wall. Now, Alice reaches home. Her father starts scolding her and says, just like your mother, you will also leave one day. In anger, Alice starts leaving on her bicycle. Her dad chases her in his car to stop her, and then he gets into an accident. She stops, but then her dad hears her scream. He gets out and looks, but Alice is not there. Only her bicycle is. Now we see the Army burning something and saying, the operation is now active. This town must be evacuated in 3 hours. On the other side, Charles and Joe bring the camera and the recording they had given for repair back home and start watching it. Charles is angry because he made Alice the heroine because he likes her, but now Joe also loves Alice. But then their attention falls on the footage. It recorded what they hadn't seen that night. A large creature emerged from the train. Now they take the tape and go outside. Outside, they realize that the town is on fire, and an evacuation order has been given for the entire town. Actually, this was all the Army's doing. Charles gets to his family, and Joe takes the clip to look for his dad. He finds Alice's dad there. He says that a large creature has taken Alice, but no one is believing him. But Joe knows the secret. Now Charles, his older sister, and her ex, along with the guy who repaired the camera, get in his car and head back toward the town to save Alice. On the other side, Jackson had been taken prisoner by the Army, but he escaped from there. Meanwhile, Joe and his friends reach their school, where that doctor used to teach. They look at the doctor's records and learn that the creature is an alien, and and the white cube is part of its spaceship that connects to form it. But the army is not letting it go and is experimenting on it. But when the doctor made contact with it, they understood each other's feelings, and since then, the doctor decided, I will help this alien to be free. But then, the army arrives there. The colonel is also there. He recognizes Joe. On the other side, Jackson tells all the details to his fellow police officers and learns that the colonel has caught Joe at the school. Jackson scares one of Joe's friends who is there and gets all the information and also gets the tape that Joe had asked to be given to his dad. Meanwhile, Joe and his friends are being taken somewhere in a bus. Suddenly, the alien attacks it and flips the bus, but Joe and his companions escape from there. The colonel is killed right there. All the armed machines in the town have gone out of control. They move forward, somehow avoiding them. One boy gets injured. Further on, Carrie comes with Joe. They reach the warehouse near the cemetery. There, they find a very big tunnel. Meanwhile, we see Jackson and Alice's dad coming together to save the children. Joe and Carrie climb down the tunnel. The tunnel is very large. Inside, they find an entire setup where the alien has been building its ship from stolen items from the town. Joe tells Carrie to distract the alien with firecrackers so he can untie the rope. Carrie lights the firecrackers and runs away from there. The alien runs toward that side. Joe picks up Alice. Alice says that the alien just wants to go home and is very hungry. There are others with it too. Now everyone starts running, but the alien starts attacking everyone. But then Joe stops and tries to talk to the alien. The alien grabs him. It feels Joe's pain and lets him go. Coming outside, they see that all the metal objects are sticking together in one spot in the sky, as if a magnet is pulling them. This was all forming the shape of a spaceship. Just then, Jackson also arrives there. He hugs Joe, and Alice's father also hugs Alice. The alien sits in the spaceship. But then, Joe's locket starts going toward it. Joe stops for a moment, and then he lets go of the locket. And that's life, my friends. You have to forget the past and embrace the future. See you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel.